My name is Sophie Meronek. I go to Drake University and I study data analytics and computer science.
My name is Lydia and I am studying applied mathematics and computer science at Gonzaga University.
My name is Harrison Brown. I major in economics and computer science and I attend Pomona College. Our project was about using curiosity to enhance learning and memory in the classroom.
We wanted to make sure that students would be engaged throughout a lesson along with being able to recall the information that they had learned.
So for the first half of our summer, we were in a lab measuring EEG using a 64-channel electrode cap. And then the second half of our summer, we were using virtual reality to measure the brain activity while a participant was in a virtual environment.
My role in the project was mostly coding along with some data analysis. For coding, I spent a lot of time using PsychoPy, which is an application that we can use for experiments and it would be able to connect with our EEG software. And for data analysis, I spent a bulk of the time looking at the data we had gotten out of the EEG cap and just trying to visualize it in any way possible to see if the data matched some of the results we were hoping for.
My role in this project at first was helping to kind of give ideas and further our trivia paradigm that we would ask participants.
The first task that I did was to establish communication between the VR headset and the Muse 2 headband so that we could see what was going on in the brain during certain points in our experiment. I was able to use a system called Lab Streaming Layer to do this.
The most interesting part of our project to me was being able to see the data that we had collected visualized. We kept on talking about these different brain frequencies and power spectrums such as alpha, theta, beta, but that didn't mean anything just in words. But when I got to see it visualized using a heat map, it was amazing to see just like where the activations and theta were happening and how it actually aligned with what we were expecting and what we have read before.
Honestly, the whole project was really interesting. If I had to choose, honestly, I think I'm gonna go with two things. The first was being in a lab. I'd never been in any type of lab experiment or lab environment, so going into that lab in Forker for the first time was super interesting. We got to hook people up to this device that I've never seen before, this EEG 64 electrode cap, and we got to look at their brain. This was something that I'd never been exposed to, so that was super interesting. And then virtual reality. Like I'd played games in VR on a PlayStation, which was really cool, but actually building your own environment and then being in your environment, interacting with it was phenomenal.
I learned later on to not get too distracted or discouraged by setbacks and to see anything, no matter how big or small, as progress because it gets you somewhere and that's really what matters. It might not end up getting you where you intended to be or it might just get you going in the right direction. Either way, you learn a lot in the process.